Hi everyone. Today we are discussing how to expedite your PhD research and overall PhD journey. I am Dr. Shahriar Hossain. I specialize in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science. Today's video is generic for PhD students in any discipline. I think you will find at least a few new tips today to expedite the PhD journey. One of these strategies I will discuss is sneaky but not dishonest. Let's start. Strategy number one: complete the required coursework as early as possible. Every PhD program has a catalog which outlines the required courses, breadth courses, elective courses, and how many research credits are required. Complete the core and breadth courses as soon as possible. Generally, there are requirements for code and breadth courses for the first PhD milestone, which is commonly known as the qualifying exam. In many computer science departments around the United States, this first step is known as qualifier or qualifying process. Different departments will have different timelines for the qualifier. In general, the qualifier exam is around the third or fourth semester of the PhD program. Make sure to complete the required courses that will allow you to stand for the qualifier exam as early as possible. The sooner you hit the milestones of your PhD, the better it is in planning to expedite your journey. Strategy number two: start your research as soon as possible. In the United States, PhD student support generally comes in two forms: teaching assistantship (TA) or research assistantship (RA). There are other forms of support as well, such as fellowship, government support for military students, but most PhD students are either TAs or RAs. As a TA, you will typically run lab sessions or assist a professor with course grading, creating teaching materials, so on and so forth. On the other hand, as an RA, a professor supports you from a project fund, and your work involves research associated with that fund. If you start as an RA, you will likely receive clear guidance for research right away. It is important that the research you perform as an RA aligns well with your passion, as this may influence your PhD dissertation topic. Sometimes students who start their PhD as RAs find that they lack the passion for the topic of the project and end up pursuing a completely different research topic for their dissertation, which can delay their overall PhD timeline. Starting off as a TA has its advantages. In the beginning, students can explore multiple labs in their first 1 or 2 semesters, speak with professors to find interesting projects, and learn from the professors in their courses. This early flexibility that comes with the TA position often helps students discover their passion for a topic. Starting off as an RA or TA, each has its pros and cons. Regardless of those pros and cons, students should consider their long-term goals instead of just short-term benefits. Whether you are a TA or an RA, start doing research as soon as possible. Of course, you have to do your PhD research under the supervision of a graduate faculty member in the department. Graduate faculty members are tenure track or tenured professors of any level, that is, assistant professor, associate professor, and full professor. Once you have discussed a potential research area with your professor, and if she or he offers funding that aligns with your research interest, it's a great opportunity. With proper planning and clear communication with your professor, it's common to align your PhD research with the funding you receive as a research assistant. It's important to note that research funds are typically allocated for specific projects. Your supervising professor will need to report the project's outcomes to the funding agency. If the funded project is focused on topic A, but you, as an RA, are unable to make topic A your dissertation topic, you will need to develop topic B for your dissertation. It's crucial to address any concerns with your advisor promptly to avoid any uncomfortable situations in the future. Strategy number 3: research your research topic. As I said, my research is in AI, machine learning, and data science. The field is relatively fast paced. We have to stay on top of the current literature. I'm pretty sure all fields are changing. There is no field for which old literature is sufficient. Look at competitive publication venues and see what papers relevant to your research have been published. Do not try to glorify your research without properly researching your research topic. All universities in the United States, and I am pretty sure many universities around the globe, have access to digital publication archives. Therefore, if you are a university student, you have access to papers of competitive publication venues. It is very hard to move forward in PhD research without thoroughly researching your research topic and knowing what others have already done, especially very recently. As a PhD student, when you write a paper, it is common for papers to be rejected from competitive venues because the work, the methodology, or the algorithms do not have the novelty reviewers look for in a paper. Strategy number 4. Communicating with your PhD research advisor, whether you like it or not. Constant communication with your PhD supervisor is a key, if not the key to success. I have seen many cases where the student and the advisor did not have a good communication term, which resulted in a change in advisor quite late in the program, delaying the overall PhD graduation time. In some cases, the student left the PhD program with a master's degree. I will probably discuss this in another video. For today, know that you must frequently communicate with your advisor about your research. In the beginning, your advisor should be able to guide you with the general topics. If you receive proper training over the first few semesters, you should be able to guide your advisor about how to proceed with the research. Note that it is your PhD and you should know more about the topic than anyone else. So when you go to your advisor, you just don't go with an obstacle. Go to your advisor with tentative solutions too, and that will expedite your research. Strategy 5. Writing regularly and efficiently. Writing is a major part of your PhD. Start writing early and do it regularly. Break your writing into smaller sections and set daily or weekly writing goals. Use tools like reference managers to organize your citations efficiently. Regular writing not only helps you document your research, but also makes the final dissertation writing process smoother. When you write your first paper with your professor, it is likely that your professor will change each of the sentences you wrote and change the structure of the entire paper. Ask your advisor if you can observe how she or he changes and rewrites the contents so that you can learn from how your advisor is rewriting your write-ups. I generally rewrite when my PhD student is in my office. I talk with the student and change the paper. My PhD students told me that seeing how I was rewriting helped them improve in the following paper. Different professors have different strategies. Try to respect that. If they prefer to rewrite or provide suggestions so that you can do the rewriting, so be it. Follow their cue. Note, you are trying to expedite your research, right? Strategy number 6, a very important one. Publish in competitive venues. Publishing in crappy venues, I'm not sure if my wording is decent, but bear with me please. Publishing in crappy venues is not hard, but when you will apply for jobs, people will know how competitive or impactful the venues you have published to are. So find out the competitive venues in your niche and publish in those competitive venues. Publishing in those venues takes work. Sometimes you keep improving the paper several times before it is accepted. With each paper rejection, you receive reviewers' feedback. Improve the paper based on the feedback and resubmit to another competitive venue. A paper rejection does not mean that you have failed. It just means that you have received some free advice from experts in the field to revise the paper. That is why it is essential to submit paper early in your PhD. You will jeopardize your plan to expedite your PhD if you submit your first paper quite late in your PhD. Experience the paper rejection very early and learn how to improve. You might find that some of the reviewers' concerns were already presented in the originally submitted paper. Your mindset should not be to fight reviewers' feedback. Rather, take it as if you could have conveyed your message better in the paper. I've seen PhD students publish papers in great venues after the third or fourth attempt, and by that time their papers have become unbeatable. Strategy number 7. Ask for leading a previous work. This strategy to expedite your PhD research is a bit sneaky, but not dishonest. Professors have some projects that were done by students who already graduated. The last paper the already graduated student submitted could have been rejected. So there is an opportunity for a revision of the paper. The student who has already graduated started a busy job and cannot find the time to work on it. Ask your advisor if you can lead the revision and do experiments to improve that paper. Most of the time, your advisor and the student who already graduated will be happy that you are willing to lead the resubmission of that paper after a revision. You might even be given the first authorship of that paper. Also, see if you can use some of the new experiments that you do in your dissertation. Even if the paper does not become a part of your dissertation, if the paper is accepted to a good venue, you have one excellent additional paper in your arsenal to battle the job market after you graduate. These are only some strategies. There can be many. I will discuss this topic from time to time. It's important to note that a lack of planning can lead to significant delays in your PhD journey. Therefore, it's crucial for a PhD student to have a solid grasp of the entire program and plan it well, especially in the first 2 years when things are more likely to go as planned. Let me know in the comments section if you want to know anything specific about PhD student success or how things work in PhD programs. If you liked this video, well, like it and hit the subscribe button. See you soon in the next video.